Hello, in this video I'll be showing you how to use the Develop tab in Adobe Lightroom, more specifically the Basic tab and the Split Toning tab. Now there's no order that you have to do these in, usually I just go top to bottom. So for exposure and contrast, you'll want to actually get those down while you're taking the photo, especially if you're using a professional camera. In this case I use an iPhone, so I'm going to go ahead and actually do these last. So I'll move on to highlights in whites and blacks and shadows. The way you should think about these is, you should start with whites. So whites sets your white point in your photo. Your white point is your absolute brightest pixels, so bright that there's actually no detail within them. When your white point is too high, it's called clipping. So I'll show you what that means. If you hold down the Alt button in the slider, a clipping mask will show up and then you'll start to see the white come through and you can see, this is clipped, there's no detail. So we'll go ahead and where you want to keep the slider is where there's just a little bit of color showing through. And then you'll want to move on to highlights. So highlights is the same idea, but it's a slimmer tonal range, meaning when you're editing highlights, you're editing the brightest part of the photo that still has detail. So it's like whites, but a step below. And you can use the same process where you hold down Alt and move the slider. This one is a lot more flexible. So this one sometimes I'll just look at it and see where I like, or if you hold down Shift, double click on it, it'll set it for you. Now blacks and shadows are the same idea, that black sets the black point. In those pixels the photo is so dark that there's no detail, and we'll hold down Alt. And you want to bring the slider so a little bit more color shows through. So we'll leave it there. Same thing for shadows. You can think of shadows as darker versions of the colors that already exist in your photo. And for the sake of time, I'll just Shift, double click, and that's how you work with these. And we'll move down to vibrance and saturation. The difference between vibrance and saturation is that vibrance increases the color intensity of all of the color, while saturation only does the hidden tones. And usually I always keep these below 30 because they get a little severe. You can see this yellows popping out. So for the sake of time, I'll leave these about here. And again, you can always come back to these, of course. So for the sake of time, we'll leave us there and we'll move down to split toning. So split toning affects the color of the lights and darks of the photo. This is really underutilized because people think you can only use it for black and white photos, but actually when you're working with colored photos, you can really make a unique image, or you can even incorporate complementary colors. So in this case, I would say blue is the highlights, as you can see right here, usually in landscape photography it is, and then the shadows would be these warmer colors. And blue and orange are complementary colors, meaning they're visually appealing with each other, so I'm going to try to pull both of those out in the image. So you can use this hue and saturation slider, but in this case I like using the color picker, and for highlights I'll go ahead and pick a blue. If you go too high, you can see it kind of gets grainy in the sky, so I usually use the bottom half. And for the sake of time, I'll keep it right there. And for shadows, we'll go over to the orange. Now what I'm looking at is the color of the mountains in relation to the sky, but also this foliage, because if I go too far over, it starts to look a little fake. So I'll put it about right here for the sake of time, and you can edit the balance between the two with this slider, which is really useful. So I'll keep it about right here, and that's how you use split toning. You don't want to overdo it, so especially when you're using split toning, press the backslash button, you can see the original image to see how far you've come to make sure you don't overdo it. But that is about it for that. We'll move back up to exposure and contrast. I'm pretty happy with those for right now, so we'll just leave them. And that is how you use the split toning and basic tab in Adobe Lightroom.